Hey, it's your friend Steve. I'm back. Sorry, a little late. Just been real busy this week. Had a lot of things to get prepared for. I'm going to New Orleans next week, so I had to get like a lot of my affairs in order. I'm not dying. I'm going to New Orleans for a bachelor party. I'm my best friend's bachelor party. I'm excited. I've never been to New Orleans. I'm also really excited because I procrastinate. I have ADD. I have a lot of issues, but I also hate flying with a passion. Flying flying combines all my worst fears into one. I don't like crowds. I don't like heights. I have a fear of instant intimate death. And what else? There's a lot. Just planes in general just give me anxiety. So I procrastinated, right? And so I was like, okay, well, whatever. I'll get my flight now. And then the flights were like $1,000. Like the cheapest one was $1,000, and like the cheapest one was 1,000, and there was a layover in like Miami. Like everyone, all the flights were like, I don't know who like I have to talk to about flights and their destinations. But to go south, right? I'm not a geography major, so bear with me. To go south, they had me going to LaGuardia, which is in, you guessed it, New York, which is north. So I get you have to go to like you have to go to an airport that Richmond's a very small airport. So I guess I figured I'd have to fly into either Atlanta or Charlotte, which is I've done before, because Richmond doesn't have really that many direct flights, which is fine because I'd rather live in a small hick town and state than live in a city where their airports and people are crazy. So anyway, I expected that. So the cheapest one was 1,000, which I was like, I guess I could swing 1,000, but I really rather not. So I was like, okay, well, there's like a couple for like 800, which is like, okay, that's way more doable. I know it's only like $200, but I'm a cheap person. Um, I was like, oh god. And then every single one of them had a layover in the airport for like 15, 16 hours. So I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Then the universe helped me out, right? The universe sent me well, this is the first time where I'm like, you know what? Thank you, algorithm. Thank you, Steve Jobs. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, for selling all my information to companies so I get ads. I got an ad for Greyhound, right? Bus. Love buses. Love buses to death. Um, have way more great experiences on buses than planes. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Then it was like $100 to get on the bus. Problem is, I have to leave a day early, so it's like 24 hours on a bus. But I get to go to all these cool. I get to go to like 5 different states, which is like exciting for me. I mean, I'll only be there for like 40 minutes each, but I get to be to Alabama. I've never been to Alabama. I could do something like 15 minutes in Alabama. Hell yeah, enough to bang my cousin. Yeah, but I mean, so I was like, hell yeah, it's like a third of the price. I don't have to fly. I have no problem with buses. I have the best experience. I've had so many funny stories on buses because I used to go to DC and New York all the time on the bus because it's like they have like China buses. I don't know if that's a racist thing to say, China buses, but anyway, it's a company run by Chinese people, legit Chinese people. It's not me just being racist, assuming all Asians are Chinese. So anyway, they're very fun people. They're crazy people. So I was going to New York. I have a couple funny stories about these China buses. Um, I could say China, right? China buses. I just can't say China man, right? Like China buses isn't a racist thing, right? That's not like me saying the N word buses, is it? Hope not. I love Asian people, especially your women. Asian women, you're great. So anyway, I'm on the bus, right? I like to watch people. People watching is great. And the bus is the perfect place to watch people because it's a lot of people that's life is not going good because you're on a bus. Like, you'd be, if your life was better, you'd be like on a plane or, driving or doing something. You're not in the best spot. But you're good people. You're hardworking people. I did. It's like $20, so I'm like, it's a lot cheaper to do it. But anyway, so I'm on the bus, and like this guy's like across from me. So when you're a big fat dude, normally people are like, you know what? There's another spot on this bus somewhere. I'm not gonna sit next to this guy. He looks sweaty, which is fine with me. I'm fine using my size to get away with having a seat, two seats to myself. So anyway, I'm sitting there. This woman comes up. She's a baby, or like a toddler. It's a toddler. So anyway, she's like going. I was like, okay, well, there's like two seats left on this bus. It's me and this dude next to me. So I like scoot over. I'm like, whatever. If she sits next to me, she sits next to me. It's the end of the line. It's like, whatever. It's only like 4 hour, 2 hour trip to DC. So most likely people will get off at DC and I'll be fine. I'll have a seat by myself. So anyway, she chooses this guy to sit next to. Like, good for me. I like the room. So she sits next to him. First off, he's very like aggressive. Like, oh, you have to sit next to me, and she's like, yeah, I have to sit next to you. It's my daughter, but. And like she sits next to him, like he begrudgingly gets up and makes her sit in the inside. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. These are just two like aggressive people. And so she proceeds to get on the phone and talk nonstop shit about this guy. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm on the bus now. I'm next to this guy. He wouldn't even get up. He wouldn't even move his seat for I could sit with by myself with my daughter." Market the guy shouldn't have moved because she didn't buy the daughter. If she had bought the daughter a seat, I get it, but she didn't. She got away. That kid was way older than 5 years old. But anyway, I digress. So she's like nonstop talking shit about this guy, right? And I don't know if this guy, in his mind, because what he did next is the most asshole yet brilliant move I've ever seen in my life. This dude, and I shit you not, this legit happened. This dude pulled out a bag of crabs. Crabs. And I don't mean like crab meat, like, like the little bags no. Full on big bag of crabs legs. And this dude proceeds to crack them open and eat them with butter. And this woman's just like, and she continues like, oh, this motherfucker eating crabs. Motherfucker eating crabs next to me. Motherfucker. Yeah, sorry, that's how she sounds. It's not me being racist. It's just a good impression. It's not racist if it's a good impression. But she was just like having at it. So I'm like, this is fucking entertaining. I'm turning off my podcast. I'm turning off everything. I'm wasting my music. I'm watching this. This is 2 hours of pure brilliance. Then like it slows down for a little bit, and I'm like, okay, well maybe the crab legs was like the highlight. Like that was like his tour de force. His like fucking he knocked it out of the park. His one hit wonder, which was a brilliant like 15 minutes of him eating crabs in front of this woman and her just like being disgusted. But it gets better. It got a little better because I don't know what happened. It was a lull in the story, and then all of a sudden I hear, "Don't fucking touch him! Don't touch my daughter!" And he's like, "What?" And she's like, "Don't touch my daughter!" And he's like, "I didn't." Like the bus bumped. He didn't sound like that. He was just like, "Motherfucker, I didn't do it." But I didn't want to do two back-to-back racist voices. But so then they start arguing. Like, motherfucker, don't touch my daughter. He's like, I didn't touch your daughter. Like, I bumped into your daughter. Like, fucking chill. And they're going on and on. Some people are just, like, so ignorant. It's fucking hilarious. Like, how did you get through life being this much of an asshole? But, I think another funny moment was, another time on the bus. This, often, not to discriminate, but often... the more aggressive people happen to be black, and it's not. It is what it is. But this guy, this is pretty good. So often enough, the bus driver is often Chinese, and he doesn't speak English. A few of them I learned. I mean, I took it like 15, 16 times. So a few of them, like, I would have like, hey, how you doing? Blah blah blah, like little chit chat. So he gets on the bus, right? So we're going. Nothing happening. I was like, this is kind of sad. This Nothing's happened in this bus yet. Um, then he proceeds to stop for cigarettes, which if you ever taken a China bus, I don't know if you have, but they have a little bit of a scam going on where they sell bootleg movies and they sell cigarettes in New York. I don't want to put them on blast, but yeah, they buy like cartons and cartons of cigarettes. I don't think they'd be smoking all of them by themselves. You know what I mean? But anyway, uh, so this guy stops for cigarettes, and stops to fill up the bus, which you have to do. The bus needs gas. So he stops and he buys cigarettes, which is fine because you needed to fill the gas tank up. This guy stands up, goes, "What the fuck is this? I got people waiting for me. We're supposed to be there at 2 o'clock." Minded, we were going to be there at no later than like 2:10, 2:15. No later. This motherfucker needs to get on this bus. This motherfucker needs to get going. I got people waiting on me. Which I understand, you have people waiting on you. But, dude, like, we kind of need gas. There's no need to be over dramatic about it. Then the guy gets back on the bus, and I don't know if he was being a dick, or he was just doing his job, because he pulled out of the gas station and stopped, right? And was filling out paperwork for like 2-3 minutes. Then this guy, which really pissed this guy off. But I think the dude was just filling out, like, you have to expenses. Like, you have expenses. It's a job. Oh, I'm gonna knock this motherfucker out. And he's just like cussing and cussing. And he like walks to the front of the bus, starts cussing at the bus driver. The bus driver gets up and starts going, like, starts speaking in Chinese. And he's like, I'll call the cops. I'll call the cops. And like, finally, it was like 5-10 minutes of this. I'm like, what is going on? You were complaining that we weren't going to get there at a certain time, and now you're stopping everything by assaulting this guy. This guy who does not speak English, not at all. Like, he probably does not understand what you're talking about. And Chinese and Asian people are racist towards black people. Let's be honest. But so then he sits down, and then for the next hour and like, I think it was like another 40. No, it was another hour and a half. He's like, I'm gonna knock that motherfucker out. I'm gonna knock that motherfucker out when I'm gonna walk off this bus and knock that motherfucker out and go running. I was like, oh my god. Like, part of me is like, don't do that. And part of me is like, yes, I choose violence. Yes. So this guy's like on and on, like for 30 minutes. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be the last motherfucker off this bus. I'm gonna knock this motherfucker out and run. And he's like telling everyone super loud. Like, the bus driver had to hear him say this. And so we like get to New York finally, and I'm like, okay, well, this is the moment of the truth. This dude's been talking all this junk. And I thought he was going to do it. Like, he waited till everyone got on the bus. And then I was like, last one off, because I don't like to rush people out. I like to just be, I have no place to be. I'm good. I'll wait my turn. So then he gets up. And he was going to do it. 100% going to do it. So he gets off the bus, and the guy's just like about to light up a cigarette. And I see him, like, his fist clenches up. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker about to do it. Do I stop him? Is it my job to stop this dude? And he was about to do it. And then for the luck of Jesus, he saw a cop. There was like 3 or 4 cops just like at the end of the block. And you don't want to do that in New York, especially. What other? I have other, dude. So many funny stories on the bus. It's like people watching to extreme on the bus, and I'm just so happy because not only am I a cheap person, and it's like $200 to get there, which is like what? It's gonna be. I have a feeling it's gonna be a lot of good stories, and that's all my life is stories. I'll tell you one more because I don't know if you guys are getting bored by bus stories. Make sure you like and comment if you are. I think I have a couple more, but anyway, this is the last one. So I'm on the bus, right? And I'm at a, you know what? You could smoke weed. I don't really give a fuck. But you know, you have to. There's a time and a place to smoke weed, and some people don't like the smell of weed. And you know, this is like maybe 2 3 years ago when it was still illegal. So I'm not advocating that you should smoke weed in the back of the bus in the bathroom, but you know, sometimes people need to get high, and I get it. Good for you. But then anyway, so we're on the bus, and smells of weed. Someone smoked a big one in the bathroom. So we're like going down. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not a big fan of the smell of weed, so it's like whatever, dude. But it's what I, you know, when you're a degenerate on a bus, you're a degenerate on a bus. You can't really blame people for doing shitty things. So we're going, and then all of a sudden, oh, bus driver, big black guy, hero of the story. Um, I don't know if he's a hero, but he made me laugh hysterically. He goes, oh no, oh no, like he's like screaming at it. Oh no, we ain't doing that. I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be great. iPod off, podcast off. Sorry, Joe Rogan. Apologies to Joe Rogan. And then I was like, oh, here we go. And then he goes, that's it. Pulls to the side of the highway, stands up, walks halfway to the back. He goes, here we go, people. Here's the message. If I smell it one more time, this is your stop. You will not be back on this bus. You will be on the side of the road. I will give you your bags, and this will be the end of your trip. I will not be having none of that in my bus. And we're like, oh, fuck. Okay. Hell yeah. All right, dude. So he gets back, starts driving, and I guess someone else went and smoked weed because it started stinking up again. And he goes, oh, no. Oh, no. And I'm like, oh, boy. This is going to be interesting because we have another, like, 6 hours. This is like, we're in the middle of New Jersey. And not even, like, the nice part of New Jersey. Like, the real fucking, like, you know, Tony Soprano brought a lot of bodies and put it in a mud field. He pulls off the highway. We're like, oh, boy, what's going on? He stops the bus in the middle of a fucking cornfield. I swear you to God. And he's just like, all right, who's smoking this stuff on my bus? And he opens the door, stands up, walks in the back, goes, who was it? Who was it? Like, this dude's going off. Like, this dude, like, you know, his wife, like, said something to him that morning, and he's like, you know what? If anyone gives me fucking shit today, I am gonna lose my shit. And he's like, who is it? Who is it? And I was like, I'm just like, I don't fucking know, dude. Like, I can't barely fit in that bathroom. I can't fucking smoke weed in that bathroom. Plus, who wants to be high on a bus? It's weird. I want to be high someplace where I could chill and be, like, comfortable. I don't want to be high on, like, a bus next to someone smelling or sleeping. You're wasting getting high, dude. Like, be high where you could, like, love the world and enjoy music or something. But anyway, he goes, all right, that's it. And he, like, gets out of the bus, and he's like, I don't know if he's just, like, opens the door to the, like, the bags and stuff, and is just like, all right, whose bag am I taking? I'm like, dude, fucking chill. Like, I get you don't want to smell this weed, but, like, dude, what are you going to do? Take everyone's bags off? So this is, like, 20 extra minutes, and I'm like, oh, my God. And finally, he, like, closes it up, gets back in, and he's like, I swear on Jesus, you make me stop this bus one more time, I will be kicking motherfuckers off. I was like, oh my God, I just want to get home, dude. Please, it's like the middle of the night. Luckily, no one else smoked weed on that bus because that dude really was legit going to kick someone off, and I did not want to get kicked off in New Jersey. But yeah, I'm excited though. I really am. We get to stop in Alabama, North Carolina. Somewhere like 3 stops, 4 stops. It's gonna be like a day of traveling, but I'm looking so much forward to it. You don't even know. I think I was a nomad in another life, or like at least like a hobo that went from like train to train, because that's like, you know, that would be my kind of like cup of tea. But not nowadays. Like, nowadays it sucks to be a hobo. But back in the day when we didn't have that much going on in life, being a hobo doesn't seem that bad. Eating cans of beans by a fire, jerking dudes under a bridge. I don't know what hobos do. Whatever hobos do. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to New Orleans. I'm going to see a lot of friends I haven't seen in fucking years. Shenanigans will ensue. I'm gonna look into it. I've talked about it. I'm gonna see how much it is to throw a parade, because you could throw a parade in New Orleans. I don't know if you know that, but I don't know how much it is. I'm gonna look into it, because I want to throw a parade. I just want to drink in public and just march. That's all a parade is. It's just marching with alcohol. But anyway, you could throw your own parade in New Orleans. You're welcome for that tip. All right, we're gonna call it. Shout out to some kid hit me up on TikTok and was like, "Oh, hey man, could you shout me out on your podcast?" And now I forgot his name. Let's call him Little Billy. Hey, Little Billy, thanks for following me on TikTok and thanks for following me on here. Hopefully you watch this, you Little Billy. I hope you're having a wonderful day, Little Billy. You've been shouted out by a random 34-year-old fat man on his podcast that's watched by upwards of 5 people. I hope you're living your best life, Billy. That's it. Yesterday was Hitler's birthday, so a special go fuck yourself, Hitler. Let's have a drink this week to weed. Let's have a drink to weed. God bless you, weed. Weed should be legal and alcohol should be, you know. So this week is not a fucking drink. Smoke a doobie to drugs. Unless you're a kid, don't do drugs. Anyway, that's a ramble. I'm rambling now. I love you guys. I'll probably have one next week, but it'll probably be early in the week because I'll be in New Orleans Wednesday through Monday. So love you guys. Probably I'll have some more fucking stories from this, hopefully. Alright. Like and subscribe, tell a friend if you laughed. If you laughed at any of my videos and you don't fucking tell anybody about it, you can go fuck yourself. I love you guys, I'm kidding. I'm a little kidding, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell at you. Alright. You guys are all the best. I'm rambling now. Fuck Hitler. Till next week. Bye.